But I'm seeing everything through brand new eyes, taking in the world.
Yeah. I think today is going to be quite different from what we've been doing so far, which is about finding love, gaining love, all that positive spirit, and really dive into something that's a lot heavier, a lot deeper, because we're actually turning 180 now. We are talking about losing love and what that means to people, how certain people cope with losing love, how extreme it can get to. Maybe it can also, kind of dig in deeper and kind of influence them in that way as well.
I think it's an interesting topic because it gives us an opportunity to really talk about something that I think a lot of people have a hard time talking about.
Absolutely. Honestly, I feel like talking about happy, positive experiences it's fun, right? We all like that. But I think what's even more important is to talk about negative things and how that can really impact your life, how you go about situations, and also how a negative situation can be turned into good and change how you perceive things in the future, right? And how you can also give more sympathy and empathy to others who are experiencing the same thing as well. Our guest today is a friend of mine, and I know he's experienced a lot of different types of loss in his life. It's not just life and death, but loss of time, loss of relationships. So I think he'll have a pretty good insight into this topic today. So I'm excited, but I'm also holding back because of the topic, which is kind of heavy today. But yeah, okay. Okay, let's go, guys.
You can't break my focus. All I got right now is attention. Give me the divine intervention. Hey, you what got me started.
My name is Boss Yozi, and we're going to talk about love and how can we preserve or endure during some hardship in love, I think. And my initial thought on how to endure hardship with love is basically it's just love, right? I mean, there's so much power in love that I think it's just incredible that it also has the characteristic to help us to endure.
What is the meaning of life to you?
Wow, that is a big topic. Okay, the meaning of life. I think meaning of life is it's kind of like an adventure. Like we get to experience all the ups and downs. Because life is not just about sunshine. It's also about rainy day, like today, it's rainy outside. So how can we experience it all? But not to take it too harsh on ourselves, but to learn through all the experiences in life. And I think there's something so beautiful about it.
Hello.
Hey. Great.
Good to see you. I'm going to jump in here. We're not doing elbows, right? We're
Right,
doing hugs.
exactly. Good to see
Good
you.
to see you. Thank you for being here.
You are so welcome.
Oh, you got a drink already.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm okay. You?
How long have you been back since your
A few
trip?
weeks.
Yeah?
Yep.
So you know what we're talking about today?
A little bit.
Okay, we're talking about losing love. And it's not just about life and death, which obviously you've also experienced, but it's also about losing certain relationships, breakups, losing time.
I get it.
Yeah, so
It's part of life.
it is a
We
part
all
of
have
life.
to go through those things.
Yes, and I think I really wanted to get you on this episode because I actually know Boz because I read your autobiography.
Right.
I was always I felt like I knew you through your book.
Ah, wow.
And from what you shared there and your experiences in life. And I think one of the things that we really wanted to talk about is you losing certain relationships in your life. Do you mind sharing a bit about that, or even the most recent one?
Of course, yeah, yeah. Well, the most recent one is my dad.
Yeah.
He just passed away
Right.
2 months ago. And that actually did something to me. It really hit hard home.
Yeah.
And I just had to do some soul searching and just have to refigure out okay, so
Thank you.
that that is happening. So how should we deal with it? How should we glide through it,
Yeah.
through the suffering and through like how can I rebuild my family, like my mom, how can I support her from this point on and so on.
Things
Yeah.
like that really makes us rethink our values as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, so
Yep.
every episode we do a kind of memory lane. So I'm just gonna ask you some things. We don't have to dive too deep. I just
Right.
want to hear your first instinct, and then we can dive into it a little bit later
Sure.
on. Okay?
Sure.
Okay.
I get it.
So first of all, what or who was the biggest loss in your life?
Oh wow.
Because you mentioned a lot of people who
the
recently
biggest
passed.
loss.
Mhm.
I would like to say my dad, which is true.
Yeah.
But the loss that has the most impact on me
Yeah.
was actually a girlfriend
Oh.
that I was with,
that you
when-
wrote about in the book.
that I wrote about in the book.
Okay.
Can I talk about it? I don't know how much.
Sure, you can talk about it.
When I lost everything, like I used to have a rap career. I was signing with record labels in Taiwan.
Yeah.
And when I ended up in prison, I lost that. I lost whole bunch of money with like expensive lawyer's fee,
Right.
and I lost my freedom and like the whole 9 yard. So at that moment in prison, I could only hold on to the one love that I had
Yeah.
left,
And
which
the one
was
who promised you this would not happen.
exactly. And on my first birthday in prison, it happened. She went away with another guy. I find out
Wow.
some in a mysterious way. I find out, and it just broke my heart, and
Yeah.
my world was like.
Yeah. Like the last
Share.
thread you held on to
Exactly.
kind of snapped, right?
Snap. Because of that, I actually channel my energy towards my family a little bit more than before. Because before I was always about like career, music, and then
Right. Friends.
friends and connection in the outside world.
Yeah.
But because of that experience, it actually helped me channel my energy more to my parents.
Oh, that's good.
And then, yeah, they came to prison to visit me every single weekend. And that's when we rebuilt our relationship
Right.
through through time together, through prayer and just love towards one another. And that's why when my dad passed away earlier this year, I have no regrets because whenever I get opportunities
Wow.
to be with him,
Yeah.
I treat him dinner, I take him to nice places. I try to do it the best that I could.
That's really powerful. I don't think every person can say that they have no regrets when someone they love passes, right? You always think, what if I did that at that certain time? But yeah,
Yeah,
puts everything into perspective about how we should go about.
exactly.
Another question. You lost a friend. I'm not sure if they mentioned.
Right.
I don't know about this. I don't think it was in your book then. Losing a friend.
Yeah, it was in my book.
Was it?
So what happened was,
Okay.
before I ended up in prison in Vancouver, I kind of like have my own production. So I
Oh,
train
like a.
rappers, try to raise up the next generation of Chinese rappers from Vancouver.
Okay.
And then my value back then was a little bit different than my value now. I always taught them, hey, you gotta get sexy girls and models to be in your movie and music
get
videos.
part-time
Exactly, right?
models like
So
I
sex
have.
sales and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Later on, when I ended up in prison, my value changed. I find new faith in Christ, and it kind of like changed my whole perspective of how we should project our message to the society.
Of course.
So when they came to visit me in prison, I started to tell them, hey, don't get sexy models anymore because we are probably ruining marriages.
Oh.
So why don't we talk about something that is more positive?
Right.
We try to build up this
Healthy,
community,
right?
right? With positive messages. I remember it so clearly. This one guy, his name is AC. I can,
Oh, I do remember then.
right?
Yeah.
Very good looking guy, and his rap skills was actually getting better and better.
Yeah.
And then this one time, I remember so clearly. In 2008, he came to visit me. We seated at the visiting table, and then I tried to tell him okay, we gotta use our music to better this world and all that
They
kind of stuff.
probably think you're crazy. Like, what did prison do to you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I remember so clearly. And then he said to me, "Hey, boss," he said, "I'm not Jay-Z or Kanye West yet, but once I get to that point, I'll be able to impact this world with positive energy."
Ah.
And that something got onto me. I don't know what it was. I think it's the power of God. I remember so clearly. I told him if you do not do it today, how do you know you have tomorrow to do it? Because you just don't know. I never knew that I would end up in prison. Nobody knew.
No.
And then not too long later, within 2 months, he went to a nightclub in downtown Vancouver.
Yeah.
He got some argument with some guys in there. He got stabbed to death. Now I was so
I
heartbroken.
literally I just
Right?
got goosebumps.
I have it myself right now
Yeah.
as well. Every time I talk about that story, I still got goosebumps.
Yeah.
So that just told me, like, like, if we have today, like, it's a gift. That's why they call it present, because it's
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
If we should use today to love the people around us, and if we have the energy and the opportunity to do something good to our world,
Yeah.
do it.
Right.
Don't wait till tomorrow.
I like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on a small commercial break, and then when we come back, we can dive in a little bit. Of
course.
deeper.
Yeah.
Okay. See you guys.